Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. I hope you're having a great day. Stay positive, stay focused. Let's get to it. What is the hot topic that's going on YouTube or Instagram? Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Don't forget, the Cash App is Let's Talk About It Media. Thank you for all your love and support.
Yeah, it was a GI changer. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. I'm going to, okay? Yeah, it was a GI changer. Keep my wife's.
So everybody's talking about Jada Pinkett Smith. Is she telling the truth about Tupac? Because if you guys were not dating, you were soulmates, but there was no chemistry, why would he propose? And I thought that the women that was actually dating him isn't saying much. We knew about the other women he was dating and engaged to. Why is Jada making this up? She's gonna give us a breakdown.
Is lying, and I have the timeline to prove it. Jada is currently on her Pay Attention to Me tour, and she is making all these wild claims, including that Tupac proposed to her while he was at Rikers. Really? The math isn't mathing, so let's take a look. Tupac was convicted of sexual assault charges on February 8th, 1995. From there, he was sent to Rikers Prison, only to be transferred less than a month later to Clinton Correctional Facility. And she specifically said she went to see him. This was not on the phone. But when I go to see him in Rikers, probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there. Well, so prior to going into Rikers, Tupac already had a girlfriend named Keisha. He proposed to Keisha, her words, in a September 2011 interview. He proposed to Keisha before he even went into prison. They were already engaged. They got married. Jada's lying, and I have the timeline to prove it. Jada, in April, and in the time that he got sentenced and was taken to prison, Keisha actually moved closer to be by him and be by the prison and saw him on a near daily basis. When he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. So you're telling me that in the 3 to 4 week window that he was at Rikers, engaged to another woman who had moved closer to the prison and was there almost every day, Tupac proposed to Jada. But hey, Jess, you might be saying to yourself, Tupac wasn't known to be a one-woman man. He was no angel. Fair enough. Let's see where Jada was during February of 1995, which was, as we've already established, the only time she would have been able to see Tupac at Rikers since he was only there for less than a month. See, Jada had already met Will Smith in 1994 on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but Will Smith was married, so nothing happened between them. But in February of 1995, Will Smith, in April, and in the time that he got sentenced and was taken, served divorce papers by his wife. 5 days later, on February 19th, Will called Jada and said, "Are you single?" And she said, "Yep." Will said, "We're together now." Jada said, "Cool." And she immediately flew to LA. She flew so immediately that when he called her, she was in Maryland at a brand new house she bought. And she never spent a single night in her new house. That's how immediately she flew to LA.
Allegedly.
When, in all that time, did you visit Tupac at Rikers and get this fucking proposal? And for the record, Keisha and Tupac stayed married for about 10 months. They got their marriage annulled about 4 or 5 months after Tupac was released from prison. He was bailed out by Suge Knight. It wasn't long after that that he met Kidada Jones. Kidada Jones is the daughter of legendary Quincy Jones. Kidada looks a little recognizable. You may know her sister, Rashida Jones, who played Karen on The Office. Kidada and Tupac served divorce papers by his wife. Were living together and engaged when Tupac was shot and killed. Kidada was the one that was there with him at the hospital the night he died. Kidada was handed his bloody clothes. She was the one who told him, "We all love you," before he slipped into a coma and never woke up. Keisha
And Will Smith is just traveling, enjoying himself, ignoring it all. Ignoring it all. Basically saying he could take a nap anywhere. Then he wakes up and he is on the seas traveling. Traveling the world, smiling, having a good time. Ignoring it all. And then, of course, Stephen A has a comment.
Some dude that's your son's friend, as trifling as that may seem in people's eyes, that's your damn business.
So go listen to his his comments about Jada. And then, of course, Amanda Seales has a comment too.
At a certain